Hello, welcome. We are not wasting any time today because we have got mist. We have got sunshine, we've got mist, we've got it all going on. It's freezing cold. I've literally just grabbed my camera, grabbed my gear and jumped straight out the door. My wife did remind me to bring some gloves, so that's a positive. But yeah, let's go for a drive and see if we can find some compositions on this beautiful, misty, sunny winter morning. So it's not very often, in the UK at least, that we get this thick fog descending, and I'm very lucky to live amongst the trees and the valleys of West Wales. We are really just in amongst the fog now. I'll spin you around in a minute so you can see. In fact, let me pull over, let me show you. Look at this. Let me open this window. It's just absolute thick fog. It really is. So as I was driving, or as I left the house rather this morning, I could just see the glow of the sun kind of through the cloud. And so I'm driving up the biggest hill that I know about, locally to me at least, and I'm really hopeful that maybe we can get above this fog and shoot down over it. That would really be special. I'll see you at the top. Sorry, I'm doing a terrible job of filming this. I've just grabbed my camera out, handheld. Let's see if we can get a shot of this guy just chilling on the side of the road. Had to be done. Shot number one in the bag. Let's carry on. Right, we're being lazy photographers today, and as we look down into the valley, we've got this beautiful break in the clouds, and I'm just looking down along this fence, along this dry stone wall, and seeing these trees looking down towards the valley. So I'm going to try and make a composition from that. The van is right here. A photographer's dream. So as the minutes are passing by, it's starting to clear more and more, and we've got some absolutely beautiful light down in the valley right now, and it's just starting to illuminate some of the trees and the features on the landscape. All right, I've framed up what's going to be my shot from this spot, and you can see behind me it's absolutely beautiful. We've got this dry stone wall leading down into the valley, and we've got these absolutely stunning trees. They're completely stripped of all the leaves, and because we've still got this fog down in the valley, it's given the trees beautiful separation. I think if we had a clear day, this shot, you just drive straight past it, you wouldn't even notice it, but because we've got this fog, it really just simplifies everything. And even as I speak now, it's starting to get thicker, it's starting to thicken. So I'm going to grab the shot now while we're talking, because we've actually got a nice bit of light on the tree, just softly hitting the side of the tree. Lovely stuff. Right, let's move on. Hello, welcome to the van. I have been up to the highest points that this vehicle will take me in the hope that I could break up through that cloud, but it completely closed in on me. Zero visibility and no good for photography. So I came back down into the woods, and I thought I'll go for a little walk and try and get some images a little bit lower down where it's not quite so dense. But I just so happened to pick the one patch of woodland where there was just no fog, really boring flat conditions. And you know what, it's not the conditions, it's me. I am the problem, because I just grabbed my camera this morning, I grabbed my camera bag and I just left the house thinking, easy, this is going to be easy, and it's not the case. It's just not that simple. So I'm going to stop now just to make a brew and just have a little think about what I actually want to shoot this morning. What do I want to achieve? What kind of images do I want to take? And therefore, where do I need to go to give myself the best chance of making that happen? So that's the plan. Get some caffeine in my system, get my boots on and go for a drive, because this is the other thing as well. When you're driving around, you're missing the finer details. You're not paying attention. You're concentrating on driving. It's all single track roads around here. So when something does spot your eye, you can't always stop, and it's frustrating. So yeah, I'm going to dump the van and we're going to get our boots on and go for a walk and hopefully get a couple more images from this absolutely beautiful morning. Alright, I've had my coffee, I've had a little rest, and I feel much happier now. I brought myself out to a little working woodland. The reason I picked this place, you might be able to hear in the background, there's a network of streams that are just working their way through the trees, and hopefully we'll be able to use them in an image. But if not, then I've come to learn that when it's foggy, misty days, if you bring yourself to places where there's lots of water about, it tends to kind of cling to those areas, and that's exactly what's happening right now. I'm looking at my first shot, which is down forest path. It's just behind you guys, so I'm going to get my camera out and see how things are looking, and we'll yeah, hopefully get at least one more nice image from this morning. Alright, so you can see behind me now exactly what I'm looking at. I've got this beautiful path just winding down through the trees. Just getting my tripod out. Not that I need it really from a technical point of view, I just find it really helps me to make those micro adjustments, slows me down, makes my photography way more intentional. Right, so we're going to go for a vertical composition on this one. It's the obvious choice really. Want to include as much of that road as we can. And we're going to shoot it at about 35mm, wide enough to get plenty of the road in, but without including too many distractions either side. And it just frames together nicely. Just paying attention to the corners of the image, making sure as I'm looking up through, that road is starting in the bottom left hand corner so that it can lead your eye up into the scene and through to the trees in the distance. For that reason again then, we are going to be shooting at f4 because I don't really want completely sharp front to back focus. I want the focus to just drift off naturally as you're looking through the scene to complement the fog that is descending over those trees in the distance. So we're at ISO 100, which is giving me 80th of a second on my shutter. So again, we could have got away with this handheld, but just doing it this way on the tripod has really allowed me to dial in my composition. So let's grab the shot. Alright, I've just come up from the forest back up onto the road. My van is about a mile that way. I've not taken a picture since the last one we took of the track winding down through the trees, and I've been walking for about an hour since then. And as much as I try not to let photography dictate my mood, it feels like I've not been very successful today. And it's a shame because it's such a beautiful place. It's silent. I've not seen a single other person and it's absolutely beautiful. But in my mind, I feel like I'm not having the best time because I'm not getting good images and I'm not creating good video content. And I'm sure this happens to everyone who makes these videos, but I just feel like it doesn't get spoken about very often. So that's why I thought I'd just do this little bit here to explain how I'm feeling, and just to show that it doesn't always go your way. You can go out into a beautiful place like we've got here in beautiful conditions and just come home, well, not empty-handed, but I've not been the best photographer that I could be today. That's how I feel. So I think with my camera gear getting soaked, I'm going to pack it all away and just enjoy the last mile on this empty forest road back to the van and try and just enjoy it for what it is. A really nice day. All right. Forget everything I just said, all my complaining. I was just driving back home, feeling defeated, and I drove past 3 lone trees, sat alongside a dry stone wall, and I thought, what an amazing subject they would make if we had light. 10 seconds later, would you believe it? It sounds like I'm making it up. 10 seconds later, look at this. You can see it on my face. We've got light, we've got blue skies above me, and we've still got all this mist that's clinging on. So I don't know how much time I've got. So the trees are back down this road here. I don't know if you can see them or not from here. I'm going to grab my camera and I'm going to run back down that way because there's nowhere to pull in or anything. So I'm going to grab my camera and I'm going to run, and I'm going to probably jump that fence and get this shot. We are not done yet. Okay, hopefully you can hear me okay on the GoPro. I am literally running down this road. Hopefully you can see behind me. We've still got that light, and if anything, it's intensifying, and I don't want to miss it, which is why I'm running like a madman down a mountain road. But I'm just coming up on the trees now and they look incredible, so let me get over there and I'll show you what we're looking at. Alright, so here's the trees in the background. We've got this beautiful light still piercing through those clouds. I'm going to grab my camera out and we'll see what we can do to make a composition, but I got a really good feeling about this one. It's not over till it's over, is it? I'm just kind of walking around handheld trying to figure out the best spot to get this shot from, and I think I've landed on my composition. So I'm going to run up and grab my tripod, get framed up, and then I'll show you what we're looking at. Right, I've landed on my final composition and I'll just try and talk you through it now. My feet are absolutely soaked. I'm stood in the bog, and to be honest, I don't really care, because what we're looking at now is an incredible composition. We've got this dark grass leading up to these 3 gnarly trees just sat in the foreground there, leading on through up the dry stone wall, looking at this forest in the kind of near distance. All those trees and branches are interconnecting, intertwining, and yeah, on from that it just kind of falls into fog. You can really see the layers throughout the image. Lovely landscape shot. I have already taken a test shot on the back of my camera and I'm really happy with how it's looking, but we have lost the light. I'm going to wait around another 10 to 15 minutes to see if we get that patch of light just come back, just to lift the image a little bit. But if not, I'm still going to go home a happy photographer. After all my complaining earlier, I will go home a happy photographer.
It just shows the difference that a little bit of light and a little bit of luck can make. And although the fog closed in on me, again, whilst getting that final shot, I'm really pleased with how the image turned out. It will serve as a reminder of just how changeable the conditions can be while we're out with our cameras. If you enjoyed today's outing, then please consider subscribing so you don't miss more adventures. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's images in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.